Welcome back to the Super Not Funny Show Reviews. I'm your boy Mo, and today I'm going to be reviewing The Wonder Years Season 2, Episode 4. It's entitled Blockbusting, coming to you from ABC and streaming on Hulu. So, what I think about it, should you be watching? Before we get into the review, get down there, hit like on this video. Well, this new episode of The Wonder Years called Blockbusting, we got two plot lines. One of them's about Bill and Lillian trying to decide if they're going to move into the first integrated neighborhood in Montgomery, Alabama. And also on the other side of it, we got Dean having a sleepover with his white friend for the first time, and he kind of falls for his friend's mom in a very hilarious way. So let's talk about the two plots. One of them's about something very topical. I doubt most people watching are even really aware of them, but it does a good job of explaining, the whole idea of integration and what it meant and what it may practically mean. And we have Donald Faison, who not Donald Faison. Actually, it is Donald Faison who comes in as the friend of Bill's and Lillian's co-worker, and he's trying to get them to decide if they're gonna be the first black family in this white neighborhood, and meets Bill and Lillian, who are coming by on accident. For they don't realize they're not supposed to be there for a dinner party, and they get kind of sucked into this whole idea of being the first, to moving on up to closer to the school, because of course Dean is getting bused to his school because of integration. And so what it kind of leads to is, Bill wasn't originally just like, I'm not going to move away from this house, it's perfectly fine, to being a bit of a competition to see who's the quote most ideal black family to kind of break down this barrier. And it leads to like some hilarious little situations where it seems like a good idea, and they're just trying to one up each other and everything like that, and to really sort of show the white neighbors who are coming by to look at the house that, hey, we'd be the ideal black neighbors. And it's all also sort of leads into the B plot of this, or I suppose it would be the A plot, but where Dean's friend, his one white friend, lives in the neighborhood. He's the Jewish kid we saw from the previous season, and that sort of leads them, because the fun thing is that his friend's not exactly he's not exactly like on the ball as far as understanding what's going on. Very Brad's very much unaware of the racial tension and everything. And so when it comes to them asking if they can have the sleepover, it obviously Lillian and Brad's mom are just kind of like, they know what's up, and they also know like we can't really say no because we're trying to model things the way they're supposed to be as opposed to the way they actually are, in terms of race relations. So Kim, of course, she's not in this very much, but she does get in a good little, jab that's also kind of, I ain't gonna lie, kind of hit a little close to home to me when she starts, talking about all the lame stuff that she thinks is going to go on in a white person's house, like what they're going to watch and what they're going to eat and whatever. And Dean's like, that sounds awesome to me, because he's really into like a lot of the same thing that Brad is. And she's like, well, you may as well be white. And I was like, okay, that's too close to home, because if you're a black nerd, you've heard that shit before in your life, and it's some foolishness. But as Dean says, it's not going to be the first time. It wasn't the last time I was going to hear that in my life, and I tell you, I feel that. So I thought it was quite funny, and just the sleepover, it was hilarious to me, because the whole thing, this is white Jewish parents, and they're clearly a lot more liberal than probably their neighbors, and so they they're not wanting to seem like they're being racist or anything like that. They turn the tolerance up to 20 in this, and there's a lot of like virtue signaling in it, and I just could not help but just be laughing out loud at all of that. And Dean's just sort of like, okay, cool. But it's just fun stuff there. But what really made that whole little plot line hilarious was, in an effort to, I guess, be equally treat her son and Dean, she gives Dean a kiss on the lips goodnight, and that just like ignites, as you would understand, a 13-year-old boy kind of ignites a crush on the mom, and he gets, as we say, real brand new when he comes to talking to her. And then it sort of leads to a blow up at school where Brad and Dean literally fight each other, and it's the most hilarious slap fight you're likely to see. Just the nerdiest fight over Brad's mom. And but I think it's really more of a solidifying of friendship. And also it does something cool. It just kind of brings the two moms together, which they're going to be the one that kind of bridge the gap between each family. And it leads to later on at the end of the episode, a dinner party where Brad's parents and Brad come over to their house, to the Williams house, for a dinner party. And that just kind of integrating in a way that's more meaningful than just buying a house, which leads back to, the A plot where they find out that it's not really about, moving in a black family and integrating and all that other great stuff, but it really is a scheme by the friend, the realtor, to kind of lower the prices in the neighborhood, get a lot of white people to move out so that they can get houses on the cheap. And I guess what was interesting is that they could kind of respect the hustle. Bill kind of respect the hustle, but he's like, I'm not with that. That's not something I do. And, they shake on it and move on, but just understanding that that's the sort of thing that's happening. And I think that's something that most people, including myself, I'm not completely up on it, that's the sort of thing that would happen. I mean, we're always aware of the whole, lowering property values and that sort of thing, and the foolishness that goes around that, the racism around that, but kind of seeing it in action and being taken advantage of by, another black person. Very interesting. But also cool that we know, the sort of people that Dean's parents are. So I honestly, between having real stuff to talk about, having very funny laugh out loud moments, and just generally, advancing the story of not just race relations, but relations between Dean's family and other families, I thought all around this was a very good episode. Like, I really, really enjoyed it. And I'm glad that they can handle issues like that without feeling preachy or anything like that, or even kind of exposing like the tendency towards preachiness that may be trying to be on the right side of history. Maybe, virtue signaling isn't necessarily a bad thing, but the hilarity of it was quite good. So all around, I just really enjoyed this episode, and I highly encourage everyone to keep checking this show out. So anyway, what did you guys think about this episode? What do you think about what I had to say? Get down to the comment section, leave your thoughts there. And of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com, or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And while you're down there, do me a favor, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell. All that good stuff helps with the channel so that more people see these videos. It helps to grow the channel. All right, thanks for joining me. Come back next week. I'm going to be talking about the 5th episode of The Wonder Years Season 2. Until then, I've been Mo, comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture, and I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.